The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome back to another project on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith and we're here at the Diversey Family YMCA in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. Now before we head inside to check on the construction process, let's catch up with Jeff Collen. He's the CEO of the Racine Family YMCAs and he'll share the vision for this project. Well, Jeff, the facility is looking fantastic, and obviously it looks like we're in a pool area, but to me it doesn't look like your standard ordinary pool.
No, it really isn't. It's going to be a lot of what Y's have been doing in the recent past, but a nice family recreation center, kind of a mini indoor water park. There's nothing like that around here, and it really will serve a great purpose in the community, drawing the community in, giving them a place to be, a place to go, a place to do activity, a place to have fun, and a place for us to do our mission.
Is that the philosophy of the YMCAs in general? I mean, most of us have heard the term YMCA, but we really don't know what it stands for.
People always think of the swimming lessons they took when they were kids. You know, the Y's been in Racine for 136 years. So I always hear stories from people about they came with their father or their grandfather and this is what they did, and they always think of sweat socks and swimming pools. Sure. You know, but it's really much more than that, and we do so many more things: a fatherhood program, young leaders, women's wellness initiative, Salsa y Sabor, just so many things where we're working on. So it's really a lot more than just what you typically think about.
It seems to me you're really investing in the community by building a structure like this.
That's really a good term. The board, in kind of visualizing this project, thought, how can we invest in the community? How can we fulfill our mission in the community more? And then the donors that are out there, for them, it's an investment in their employees, but it's really an investment in the community and the bigger picture. You look at, Diversey, our lead donor, and the investment that they've made, again, not only in their employees, but in the whole community to provide this kind of facility. That's more than thinking about themselves. That's thinking about everybody around.
Sure. Well, obviously a project of this magnitude begins with a strong vision, and this project was no different than the other successful projects around our great state. How's the construction process going? Are you happy with how it's gone so far?
It's been really great. You know, it's been a friendly atmosphere, it's been a fun atmosphere, it's been an atmosphere of teamwork, and just like what we try and do in the community and create good things happening, this facility is going to do that, but the whole construction of it has been that kind of an effort, a community kind of effort. The way it's all worked it's been great.
Sure, well, it's obviously exciting times here in Mount Pleasant, in the Racine area in general. Yeah. When's it going to be completed, and do you have any big plans?
September 1st, we're planning to open with a couple of open houses, probably a nice cocktail party, walking through the building the night before. We expect the keys to be turned over to us. I think it's August 21st, I think, is the day. Of course, they're not telling us. We're probably a few weeks ahead, but sure. Yeah, that's okay. We're preparing for that September 1st date, and a couple open houses, a little time off for Labor Day, and then get going for good, making a difference in people's lives.
Well, what I've seen so far, it's a great crew, a great project. I appreciate you coming on and sharing its vision and what an asset it's going to be to this area of our state.
We're looking forward to it.
Okay, Stu, this is the pump room, and you get out of the pool and the water runs off your body and it goes down the deck drains. All those drains in the whole pool deck will drain to this one pipe that comes through this wall right here. And then these two 6-inch pipes go by gravity to the sanitary sewer. They actually go underneath alongside the pool and out the far south wall.
Really? So when you get out of the pool and the water's coming off you, that doesn't get recirculated. That actually goes to the sanitary sewer?
Correct, that goes to the sanitary sewer. Also, when the filters regenerate, filtering water out of the pool, when they dump all that water out of those filters, it goes into a 10-inch pipe, which is going underneath the floor here into this crock. And there's a floor drain for the pump room that comes in here, and also a floor drain from the surge tank behind you. That all comes into this big crock. This is 7 feet deep, and there'll be 2 pumps in here, and that'll pump into these 6-inch also, and take that water all the way out to the street.
Wow, well, you know, we were just talking with Jeff, and we were talking about how it's an indoor water park there, so it's a pretty complex system out there, and all these have to be pitched back in here. There must be a lot of mathematics to figure that out.
Yeah, there is. These pipes here go by gravity to the street, so when it comes into the building, I had to figure out how much pitch it would take to get to this point when I put these sleeves in the wall. Just so that I don't tie onto it, start pitching, and I end up too high and can't make these sleeves, and that's a problem. And the same thing with this. This is the lowest point of all those pool deck drains. So I had to figure out where this sleeve would be so I could leave myself enough pitch to get all the way to the other side of the pool and not be out of the ground.
And again, that's one of the first steps in the whole construction process must have been this hole.
Correct. This was one of the first foundations that went in.
So any advice for someone entering the plumbing trade? Seems to me mathematics is pretty important.
Double check your math.
That's for sure. Okay, this is the waste side.
Right.
What about the supply side? You must be tied into that for that massive amount of water that goes into a pool.
Correct. We do have pool fills here, 2 pool fills, which maintain the water level in the pool. The water level in the pool all comes from our water pipes also.
But this is only one facet of the plumbing here, I assume.
Yes, this is. The swimming pool is, only one facet. We have locker rooms and bathrooms throughout the building, and if you want to go, we'll show you one of the locker rooms.
Sounds good.
This is the family locker room. There's also a men's locker room, a women's locker room, and then there's one for future that we're not going to be doing much in right now at this point.
Sure, well, I think of YMCA, most people think about swimming. Obviously a lot of water going through that pool area, but you also need a lot for these locker rooms.
Yes, there's lots of showers and bathrooms in this facility, and everyone needs hot and cold water, so there's lots of water being used here.
So as I look around, a lot of the walls are completed. Obviously there must be some plumbing in there, but I'm looking up top. John is doing a little soldering up there. Anything I see that's copper is essentially attributed to the plumbers?
Correct. This is all water piping that's serving hose bibs and showers and lavs and toilets.
Okay, so when you're working with block construction like this, is it more difficult or more challenging than, say, a stick frame construction?
Well, it is a little, yeah. We have to prefab a lot of our piping together, and the masons build the block wall around our piping. So that's all things that have to happen prior to the walls being built. When the walls are built, now you're seeing the final rough stage of it, and that's tying all the water lines together. The next stage will be setting the fixtures.
Boy, it sounds like an awful lot of work. How many plumbers do you have involved in this project?
Me and John are currently.
Get out of here, 2 plumbers on a 70,000 square foot building?
Right.
Wow, I guess that's a testament to your experience, your training, and obviously you're working with other trades. How is that going? I mean, it must be essential that you communicate.
It's going really well. Everybody's working together. Mortensen puts a plan together, and they orchestrate the big picture, and we all communicate with each other, and it's gone really well.
And when you finish with all the exposed plumbing, it all gets tied in a big utility room somewhere?
Right. That's what feeds all these different water piping. This is all just branch lines off of a main run.
Well, it's always great to see behind the scenes. I appreciate you coming on today's show and doing just that, showing us what it takes for the plumbing on a facility of this magnitude. Thanks.
My pleasure.
This YMCA project is a great example of an investment in the community, and not only in a building like this, but also the workforce. People that live and work here also are going to enjoy this place as well. So once the project's completed, a lot of the men and women that are working on the project will also bring their families back, enjoy the project that they built, and it's an extension of the community right within the community. And it's not only investment in dollars and community resources, but it's also the human resource that goes into this project, and the people that are working on this project get paid well, be able to raise their families with dignity, and then someday retire also.
Building Wisconsin is made possible by the members of Plumbers 75, proudly serving their contractors and helping build Wisconsin for over 100 years.
We all know the most basic form of life requires clean water to survive. On Earth, we need it to drink, cook, clean, and it touches just about every part of our quality of life. Here in Wisconsin, we appreciate the value of clean water even more as we live alongside the Great Lakes. Yet we often forget to think about how water gets to our homes, schools, and businesses, and then safely back to Mother Nature. Where does all the dirty water go? How is it fresh and clean every time we get a glass of water? Who makes this happen? The answer, plumbers. It's the plumbers who are trained, mentored on the job, and have progressed through a 5-year education program that takes them from apprenticeship to a master of their trade. It's plumbers who are committed to a career and have been trained to protect the health and safety of our water system and make sure you never have to think about where it comes from and where it's going. Yes, we're fortunate here in Wisconsin to have an abundant supply of clean, fresh water, but even more fortunate to have a highly trained and committed workforce to keep and deliver it that way.
Plumbers 75, supporting the plumbing trade in southeast Wisconsin for over 100 years. For more than 70 years, Joe DeBelak Plumbing Htg has specialized in the systems that play a major role in comfort and convenience. At home, at work, at school, or out on the town, no job is too big or too small. With 35 well-equipped trucks on the road and a crew of 50 experienced field technicians, Joh DeBelak prides itself on customer satisfaction. Whether it's a homeowner with a leaking faucet or a large design-build project, Joh DeBelak Plumbing Htg and Plumbers 75, proud to be building Wisconsin. For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsinTV.com.